Hello everyone, I am here today with a new video, and this one is a flip-through video, not a process video. I wanted to show what I've been doing with my summer kit. If you've been following that series, you've seen some of those layouts. So I have all of the layouts for June done. So my June road trip is in here, and I want to just show you what I did. Then I'll move on to showcasing more of the July layouts, and then when those are done, I'll have a flip through of that as well. So this is what I have left as I am completing June. If you've been following from the beginning, you know there was a lot more in here than what you see now. So it looks like there's a lot left, but I've also used a whole lot. So let's get started. So I've got the opening page here, and I did not do a process video for this one, but I kept it pretty simple. Lots of phrase labels, cut off the end of a different type of label, journaled, kept it pretty simple. And when I am doing travel stuff, I always like to include the transportation photos, so I have those as well. So just some info on our route, where we were going, where we were planning to stop first, and just some little odds and ends that were added. This was our first major stop. I had a fun card I wanted to use, so I got to use it there. I was happy about that. And I noticed after doing this one, there's a lot of Ellie Studio stuff on here. That's Ellie Studio, this card might even be. I think maybe that's Citrus Twist, but I'm not positive. And these are more pictures at the falls. I loved being able to use these alpha stickers. I've been hoarding them, and I loved that I got an opportunity where they matched and would look good. This is just continuing on along our hike, and then there are some old mill ruins as part of the falls area, so we went to see those as well. And I think I did a process video for this one. Could be wrong, but I think so. And then we stopped for a picnic, so I have this as well, some fun cork embellishment there. This is actually a rub-on that did not come on the card. That is a rub-on from Cocoa Daisy. I think this tab is from Cocoa Daisy too. Then I have a mix of stuff happening here. This is actually a super old card that I had from A Beautiful Mess. I used to get their Messy box years and years ago, and I had this one, held on to it forever, finally able to use it. And then this is a transparency word. I believe that's from Felicity Jane. I also used to get their kit, and I believe that's where I got that. And then this one I know I have a process video for because I ended up making these cards myself. I couldn't find anything that matched that I really liked, so I just made my own. I got to use some fun ribbon that I had put in my kit. And then on the back of this is kind of like a retro family pattern on that paper. But for this layout, the B side, just the red pattern side, worked better. So after our picnic lunch, we went and had ice cream. Found this little place. I have that in there, and I don't think I did a process video of this one either. I'm pretty sure I did not, but I love that card, and it worked perfectly. And what's more summery than that? That's also an Ellie Studio, I believe. This was just a pit stop. Did I do a process video for this one? I think I might have, but it's very blue and green. So I worked in some of the brown that you could see in the sand just to mix it up a little bit. And then this one was fun because I got to use this acrylic piece. That's another thing where I've had it for a long time. I didn't know how I would use it. I don't take a lot of selfies, so I didn't know what I would do. It worked out well with this one. I wanted to see the lake behind me, so then I got to use that. And this little phrase, wind in my hair, was perfect for that. Put a little flare on there, little circle element. That's kind of it. Clear acrylic here on a geotag. I have tons and tons of those, so it makes sense to use them when I can. And then here we are arriving at the Airbnb that we chose. And so again, I like these kinds of photos where I can just screenshot the map to show where we are. So I wanted to include that. And since it was the first time we had stayed there, I liked the outside pics as well. And this was right as we entered. I thought that was a fun way to kind of come in there, and it made it very inviting. And then this one, I'm pretty sure I did not do a process video on because I knew it was going to take a long time to get it done because I had to journal and add things. And then I was putting in sequins and fusing the pocket. And then I have a brochure in there. So I did not do that one. But I love the look of it. I love how this pocket turned out. Isn't that gorgeous? I love using sequins when I can. And the fuse tool is excellent for that. If you don't have one, you should really get one, especially if you're a pocket scrapper. So then this brochure, I just created some cardstock tags that go on the back there, and then that way this can still be fully opened for anyone who would want to view it. Here's more of that red paper. I had a scrap left and it worked on there, so I used it. And then I have a couple of these wood veneer tabs, and they use the British spelling, so they're used in there, which as an American, we don't use those. But I'm not going to not use the tabs because of that, so I got to use one here. And then just some photos from inside the house, kind of showing little details that were in there. It's a converted church, so that's why it looks like that. And then my kids love the fact that they had a big screen TV attached to the wall, and they could hook up their Switch and play games. So they were thrilled just by that, let alone the other stuff. And some more pics around the house. And I loved that I had these things already built into my kit. It made it super easy to create some fun layouts and find things that actually matched. So super pleased with that. And this was us just kind of walking around the neighborhood, just seeing what there was to see. It's a very small town. So downtown is maybe 4 blocks. And the house where we stayed is like a block and a half off of their main street. So it was really easy to just walk around. And then again, I did a screenshot showing where we were walking from and then where the pizza place was that we were getting dinner. It's kind of nice when you can just walk to get your dinner. On this one, I just used some chipboards, some stamping, most of these things. This was in a sticker book that I had from Me and My Big Ideas. I don't remember which one, but I had those in there. So they were not in my kit. That was an extra that I added just so I could get that journaling in there, but they worked well. And some more pics around the house. That's in the morning, taking it easy, being lazy. That's what vacation's about. This was just, we went into a town somewhat close by. It's actually, we were in Wisconsin, but this is back into Minnesota. We crossed the border over the river, and the town is called Winona. And so we went in and did some sightseeing. This is their lovely courthouse. Look at that. I made my husband stop there because the architecture was just too good to pass up. So I did some wood veneer, some chipboard stars. I know these are from Ellie's studio. This might be too, but I can't remember for sure. And those enamel dots were in my stash. They weren't in the kit specifically, but I added them in because the color worked. And then here we found a local video game store in town, and so we wanted to stop in there for the kids. So we did that, and again, I screenshotted it and included that. And then for anyone who has seen the movie Grumpy Old Men, Slippery's Bar and Tavern, that is in Wabasha, Minnesota. It's a real place. Wabasha is a real town. And so we went there. It's not far from Winona. So we went there so that they could try out Slippery's. And this ended up being one of my favorite layouts. This is one of the last process videos I did. And I just love all the stuff on it. I love the blingy foam embellishment. I love that I did some digital stamping on here before I printed the photos. I love this card. I've even got a flip in there. It's got fun orange to match the rest of it. So I liked that one. Then here we are having our fabulous dessert. It was very, very good. And I used some more chipboard. Those are from, both of these are from Allie Edwards. And then this one, because these pictures are so busy, all I did was add this right here, a label and the wood veneer, and that's it. I left it alone. And then we found a creamery and cheese shop on the way back to the Airbnb. So we stopped off there and my husband picked out some items. So I just did a quick layout about that too. This one we just were laughing like, we're not big chocolate people. Well, my husband and I aren't, my kids are. We're not. And so when he saw that chocolate cheese fudge with walnuts, we were both just kind of like, bleh. We would never buy that in a million years. So he took a picture of it to remember it. And then here we are again. This is just around the neighborhood. And we just thought they had some pretty colorful houses with lovely gardens out front and on the side, and a quaint little bakery. And there's a little creek that runs right behind the property, kind of cuts through town. So I wanted to include that. And then they had a couple of great murals in their downtown area, and so I wanted to get some of that as well. And then we were just back playing cards at the house. That's a way to fill our time on vacation. We enjoy that. And then not only do I scrapbook, but I do cross stitch. And so I had started Paris when I was there. So I wanted to make sure that I had that documented because it was so relaxing to just chill out and work on that. And then this is the morning that we left. So I wanted to take a couple photos of downtown. I love the pretty purple and it kind of matched my shirt. So I wanted to include it. And then we were just turning a corner where we needed to kind of change highways. And all these geese were there. And I don't know, I just liked the look of them. And they were just hanging out on the side of a pond, side of the road. And they were adorable. So I put them in there too. And then we stopped part of the way back in Red Wing. That's across into the Minnesota, over the Minnesota border again. And we stopped to have lunch at a little place in Red Wing, so I wanted to include that. And it was a fantastic meal. This was also one of the last layouts I did. So I wanted to make sure that got featured, and I loved being able to use up all of those labels that had been sitting in this kit. I put a lot in there, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with all of them, but I ended up using a lot just in June, so that's awesome. And then this was our last stop. This is in a town called Hastings. This is only about 20 to 25 minutes from where we live. But it's a cute little town. They have lots of quaint little buildings and shops in there. And things were starting to open up at this point where you could go in with a mask, a limited number of people. And so we got out, and I mostly just walked around town. My husband did go into a couple of stores. But I just walked around and took in the buildings. And then they have this beautiful river walk area. This is the bridge that goes over the Mississippi River there. And so I wanted to get that in there too. I loved these benches and this ornate ironwork that was above a sign, just on a street corner. And just some extra things that I wanted to include. I loved these hanging baskets. And then we were on our way home. So it got cut off a little in this photo, but it says Hastings down here. And then it shows the route that we took home. So it was about 20 minutes. And I loved this card. I believe this is also from Ellie's studio. And I loved that it had these openings where I could put in the highlights that we wanted to remember. Normally I don't do a lot of that kind of thing, but since the card came in my monthly kit that I got from them, I threw it in my summer kit thinking, you know what, I can probably find a way to use that. And I did. So that is it for my June layouts. I'm also not sure if I'm going to keep it in this album. This is a little bit more fall or maybe Christmassy looking to me. I may switch it to a yellow and white striped one that I have, but I'll keep it in a 6x8 binder just like this. That's the best size, and I do like the Simple Stories binders. But that's it for today. Stay tuned to see more layouts from July. Thanks for watching.